Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Here we go. This thing work when it want to work. Today it ain't working. Let me move back some. Ooh. There you go. It's like I wasn't at the sensor. It worked, and then it don't work. I don't know. It's crazy. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. How you guys doing this morning? There we go. Oh, I don't even have my seatbelt on. Alright, there we go. It's closing. Alrighty, it's Tuesday. One more day and it's my birthday. Thank you, Lord. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'll be 56 tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow I have to go get my license renewed. It's going to expire tomorrow. So I will go and get my license renewed tomorrow. Gotta get up and make an appointment. Remember how I used to be able to walk into the DMV? Not no more. Not no more. Not in Timor. Now you have to make an appointment. Things surely have changed, which I kind of like that you have to make an appointment. That way you know for sure. You know for sure that you're going to get in and get out. I think it's $30 or $35. Is it $30 or $35 to renew your driver's license? I'm not sure. Used to be $15. I think when I started driving, it was like either 10 or 15, and it has increased. And you watch and see. Before it's all said and done, it'll be like $50. It's a goddamn shame, y'all. It's a shame. Everything is so freaking high. So high. So high. So high. But it is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. And you know what we do over here. We do what? Say it with me. Truthful Tuesday. It is Truthful Tuesday. So down in the comment section, right down there, write your truth. We do not judge. We listen. We do not judge. We listen. I'm going to say it one more again. We do not judge. We listen. We read. We listen, right? It's Truthful Tuesday. So this is your opportunity to tell your truth, whatever it may be. If you feel like sharing, if you don't, that's okay. You don't have to. There's no pressure at all. I have so many truths, but my number one truth today is I thank God for life. I thank God for health and strength. I thank God. Although I'm not very happy about my lab results. This is my truth. My lab results were terrible. Terrible. My pre-diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic. My A1C was terrible. Terrible. It was like supposed to be in the range of 5 and 6, and it was up there. It wasn't real high, but it was high. My cholesterol was high. Something else was high. I don't know. But anyway, my doctor sends me a note in the Live Well app she's like, hi, Sherelle. She's like, uh, she didn't say it like that. She was like, continue to try to stay away from sugary drinks and sugary foods. She said, because you are pre-diabetic. She does not want to put me on any diabetic medication, and I don't want to be on any pre-diabetic medication. So I've got to start, I've got to drink things and eat things in moderation. I love rice. So I got to stop eating so much rice and bread. I really need to drink more water. I need to drink more water and eat more salads. Okay. And there was something else that was high. Not really sure. I can't remember. But yeah, so she told me those things, that I needed to do. And I received it. I received it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. What it is. What it is. So y'all, it is what it is, you all. But it's okay. It's okay. So I was a little upset about the lab results. And like I said, then she sent me that message. And as I told you all, March 31st, I got to go for an MRI for my knee. I've got to go see why my legs continue to be red. Must be an accident somewhere. Another ambulance, fire department. And so, there's things that I got to change. And so my mother, I had showed my sister, my niece, and my mother had shared with them my lab results. My sister works in the healthcare, and she was like, you just gonna have to, like they said, do things in moderation. So when I got home yesterday to my mom's house, my mother said, my lab results when I was your age look the same. She said, you in that age range, that 50 age range. It's got to be an accident somewhere. It's another fire truck. She said, you in that age range where, unfortunately, you start to have your body, your body is changing. So I said, yeah. She said, my labs look the same way. I was like, oh. She's like, yep. So I remember my mother had to have her gallbladder removed because her bad cholesterol was bad. And that's when she became a diabetic and had to go on, got diabetes. So I am going to call my insurance company to find out if I can get on the weight loss drugs, Wegovy, Zepbound, whatever, because I know the weight loss will help. But my doctor also told me, she said you going through, she said you're in full blown menopause right now, and she said, and things, she said it just changes, so it is what it is. And I'm taking the high blood pressure medicine. As you saw, I said my blood pressure came down. And the tea, somebody asked me, what do I do to get my pressure down? I just took my medicine consistently, but I am going to get this hibiscus tea that my sister was talking about. I'm gonna get some of that. And I think you can get it off of Amazon. So you know, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to drink that tea. You know, I'm gonna try it. I never understood why. I just don't understand. Why are you out here? Oh, that's cute. Look at them lights on. They running to get. It's dark out here. They got these lights on their shirt so that you can see them. Oh, they got them too. Out here in the dark walking this lakefront. Why ain't that? It's too dark. Too many rats. No thank you. I'll pass on that one. I like walking this lakefront, but not when it's this dark. It's too dark. It's just too dark. Raccoons be out here in the morning. No, thank you. No, thank you. So yeah, so that was that wasn't what I wanted. I kind of knew that it was gonna be high because the last time I had blood work done, it was kind of like that. So I kind of knew that. But you know how you be hoping. You be hoping that that's not the case. Well, it was. I just gotta find some other stuff to I gotta find some other stuff to eat, healthy stuff. Probably eat a salad today. I did have string beans. I had some rice and salmon for dinner last night. And I ate real late yesterday because yesterday was busy as hell. It's like I missed Friday. It was like they was waiting on me on yesterday. So I was busy at work. So I didn't eat lunch until late. And what I ate, I shouldn't have ate. I had Burger King. So I wanted some Chipotle. But again, it's got rice. And my mother fixes rice at least once a week. We have rice a lot. It's going to be hard for me to give up rice and pasta because I love spaghetti. And I love bread. Y'all pray my strength. Fried foods, you know, fried foods bring your pressure up and all of that. work outside for a living. You're not by an office, you know, in an office. You gotta find somewhere to use the bathroom and hope that the bathrooms are clean. That's the only thing about working outside for a living that I don't like is the bathrooms. The bathroom situation. Bathrooms are so nasty. And this blood pressure pill. This blood pressure pill. It definitely makes you use the bathroom. I'm trying to think. Oh, I hope you. I don't know if you all saw the short video that I put up of my coworker bought me a hubcap. I was so shocked. He had told me that he was gonna look for me a hubcap at the junkyard. Because you know, men, they love to go to the junkyard and get different parts for cars and all of that kind of crazy stuff. And he had told me that, but I had forgot about it. And then, but he mentioned it again. And so he yesterday he came out to my car while I was sitting there right after I finished the video with you all, and he had it in his hand. He's like, "I found you a hubcap," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And he was like, "Yep." He was like, "So I'm gonna put it on for you." So he just popped it on, snapped right on, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "I know you told me you was gonna look for one." I said, "But I thought you said you was gonna get one from the junkyard." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I was." He said, "But I couldn't find the one. I couldn't really find anything." He said, "So I figured, okay, well, y'all, hold on. I want to get in front of this truck. This car is driving so slow. Well, you don't want me behind this. I ain't had no choice, but she driving slow. The car in front of her, it won't move up. I have to get behind this truck." So he said, "Yeah." He said, "I tried to find one. You could have been gone. Why you lagging behind?" Oh, he moved. Thank you, Jesus. Anyway, he said, "Yeah." He said, "I was gonna find you one from the junkyard." He said, "But I couldn't find anything that looked good." He said, "They were kind of beat up." And he said, "Usually hubcaps are not that beat up." He said, "But I didn't want to put no junk on your car." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." So he bought me a hubcap. And he was like, "That wasn't nothing." I said, "It's not that I said, "That's not the point." I said, "It's the thought that counts." I said, "The fact that you were looking out for me." Because he had mentioned to me, he had said to me, "What happened to your hubcap?" And I said, "Oh," I said, "You know," I said, "when I was living in the apartment building," I said, "they were doing some work around the apartment." I said, "There was a board that they left in our neighborhood." Black neighborhoods, they leave shit all the time. Just a fact. You live up north where it's mainly white folk, not so much. They don't leave shit. So I said, when I parked and pulled over, I said, and I was backing up, I said the board got caught in the hubcap, and it ripped it off. And he was like, "Oh wow." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "So I haven't had a hubcap in a while." And he was like, he said, none of the guys that you deal with thought to get you a hubcap?" I said, "Police." I said, police. He was cracking up. He said, he just shook his head. I said, exactly. He said, what's wrong with these dudes? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't fuck with them. I said, so I don't know what's wrong with them. I said, I don't bother these men. You know, he was cracking up. He said, well, I know that you needed a hubcap. He said, that was nothing. He said, it really was nothing. I ordered it and it came in. He knew, because I had told him what model the car was. Now, all the time that my friend saw my car, knew that I didn't have a hubcap. Who goes to the junkyard, mind you? Never, ever, ever, ever said, Sherelle, I'll get you a hubcap. Never. Never. I hope they got this damn key. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this. Never had to be bothered with this. Now every day I gotta get this stupid ass key. I just, when I tell y'all, yesterday I went in there. They ain't even had a box. They ain't have the box down there for me to get the key. Shit, get on my nerves. I'll be back, y'all. We had the box down there today. Yesterday, I had to go down there and get the box. he had it down there. When I tell y'all I get tired, I get tired. I just get tired. I get tired. I get tired. Be back. Now I gotta punch in all of this, twisting and turning. All right. I was walking around making sure, now I'm paranoid, making sure the hubcap is still on. Yeah, now I'm paranoid. Anywho, this parking spot is weird as hell. It's weird. Anywho, when is he coming over here to say something? Hold on, you all. What's up? Good morning. How are you?
I was thinking.
What?
I think it's fucked up that they won't let you start at 6. You know what you should do?
What?
Punch in at like 6:59 every day, and if there's no van, there's no van. Start playing their game, and then when there's no van, it'll put pressure on them. Because nothing changes if nothing changes.
That's true. You're right.
Think about it.
You're right.
Go fuck yourself.
That's true. You're right. Because they ain't helping me at all.
It might suck because you might be in a different van for a day or two or whatever, but you're fucking yourself.
I know. I know.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
That's true. You're right.
Fuck them.
You're right. You're right.
So,
You're right.
That's for you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. That's a co-worker. He was just saying that, you know, you heard him. And it's true. Because why would you not let me start? Oh, hold on. Hey, how you doing, baby?
You good?
I'm good. How you doing?
You sure?
Yeah, Nico was just over here saying I should stop coming in so early getting this key. I went up there and even talked to, you know who, the big boss. And he was like, that was last week. He said, oh, okay. He was like,
Art?
yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, you know, I understand. And, you know, he was acting like he was, you know, cool with it. Mike cool with it. Sherman, they all cool with it. He gonna tell me, I'm gonna talk it over with them. What's the talk over? You the boss.
Yeah.
Just make this fucking change.
Yeah.
So Nico was saying, he said, you should stop doing this. He said, you don't have a van, you just don't have a van. He said, put the pressure on them. They the one wants you to go out and do the work.
Yeah, well, that is kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
You don't get no van, and then they can't make you drive something that's not, if it's not clean to your, you know, you just, everybody just, I've seen them vans. I know niggas pissing in cups, and they forget to dump it, and then when you get in that motherfucker a couple of days, that shit stink.
And that's the whole thing. That's why I try to get the same van, because I know that I keep it clean.
Right, that van is like, it's almost like your van.
Right.
You know it's clean.
Right.
You keep it fresh, blah, blah. I get it. But yeah, you shouldn't have to go through that.
But he was saying, ain't nothing gonna change. Nothing gonna change until you make a change. He said, you're gonna have to show them.
Well, once you can't start, okay, they already told you, and that was just some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
about the surveys not getting done. We got 212 up here. Okay, it's gonna be 312 in 1 week because you know why? I'm not doing what I, maybe you can set the tone.
Maybe so.
They ain't gonna send you out nowhere. We know that. So,
right.
So you just be doing what Lori and them do: walk around, hide, disappear.
And then they had her doing my shit Friday because I wasn't here. Because they talking about it, they trying to get the list down or whatever. Well, I ain't here for the rest of the week. Tomorrow my birthday.
Right.
So I ain't here for the rest of the week.
Okay,
So we gonna see who gonna. Thank you. So we gonna see who do it then.
What you got planned?
Nothing.
What?
I ain't got nothing planned. I'm just glad to be alive.
Ain't no nigga got nothing for you. Ain't taking you out to dinner, getting no steaks, no baked potato.
What? These cheap motherfuckers.
You ain't dating nobody?
No. I'm not dating anybody. Zero. The last motherfucker last year, he brought me some goddamn scratch offs.
I'm gone.
And he worked here.
I'm gone.
He makes $60-something.
I don't want no nothing. I just said I'm gone. Cause I ain't gonna say you messed up my day. It's already messed up yesterday. I'm going to 7 o'clock in 2 weeks.
Why?
Cause the dope ain't on my truck. He don't come to work. I get motherfuckers get high and get drunk. He don't come to work. This is not. If you late every day, I can see moving you from 6 to 7 because you late all the time.
Right.
He's never late. He just don't come to work.
Well, why is that your fucking problem? Why is the whole truck being punished?
They should just move him back to traffic. I even went, I'm 10:01, so I went into the office to talk to Mario, and Mario like, man, this came from upstairs. I said, but it's still not fair, bro. Y'all fucking with all our livelihoods just because of one motherfucker. Why don't y'all penalize him and only him? Take the truck away from him. Make him do something else. It is what it is, man.
This place.
What's up, dog?
Hey,
so,
King.
I ain't got no
place.
pink still. I still got my job, so I'm gonna keep rolling with that.
This place is fucked up. Yeah. They don't. The decisions that they make is stupid.
They just and thing is, in that office, except for Mario, all these motherfuckers around here get high. They do the cocaine. They do all types of drugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I be telling them when you working with me, just don't be around me high, bro, because I don't want shit falling on me. I got people that love me that want to see me again.
Right.
So I don't need no accidents.
Right.
And these motherfuckers be staying at the stars and just weirdo shit.
That's weird. That's weird in itself. Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Now I can't pick my grandson up.
Right,
sometimes.
that's what I'm saying.
It's just little shit.
That's what I'm saying.
And I be like, I can't. And now I got to park all the way down there because I'm not coming in this motherfucker early. I ain't starting at 7 and still gonna be doing my regular.
Yeah, because you know you ain't gonna get no park.
Oh, no, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. So.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
They make me. That ain't right though.
Yeah, it is, man. Like I said, I still got my job. I ain't got no pink slip.
Right.
It could be worse. Could be some of that mayor shit they doing where you getting furlough days or how they, how they take days away, you don't get paid.
But they still shouldn't punish everybody.
That's how it is. Then you got Marcus' truck. He really don't want to do the 6. Some people on his truck is cool with it. So they divided on his truck. Chrissy got kids.
Right.
Her coming in early, I don't know how that affects her situation, but everybody don't want to come in that early. Marcus got a problem getting here at 7. What you think gonna happen when he get here at 6? We're gonna see.
God.
But hey, happy birthday.
Thank you, baby.
And,
thank you.
I'll talk to you.
Okay, baby. All right. I tell y'all, being an adult is a motherfucker. But he right though. The other guy, my other coworker, he right. You heard him say that. Stop coming here so early. Stop coming here so early. They won't let you start early. Just stop doing it. And I'm really thinking about it because when I tell y'all, I come here early to park where I want to park, right? To park here. But I'm tired of fighting for a key. And I'm just gonna keep it 100. I'm tired of stopping here and tired of going to get a key. That I'm sick of doing. I am sick of doing that. Getting here early to get a key, to get here. I'm here every morning at this time. Why don't you just let me start at this time? I just don't But I am getting tired of it though. It's 5:55. Anyway, let me read you all today's reading. Today's reading from this little book, Be Still and Know. February 10th, Shepherd. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. John 10, y'all I cannot see. John 10, verse 11. Jesus said that he is the good shepherd, and it is good to remind yourself that you absolutely need him. Without Jesus, you are lost. Without the sacrifice and guidance, you would have no way to be close to God. How has the good shepherd guided you? That's the question. Again, this is from this little book. And then right here, Acts of Faith by Iyanla Van Zant. We're going to go to February 10th. There must be inner healing for the broken vessels. Reverend Linda Hollis wrote the quote. And the reading is, she spent 2 days making the outfit. Spent her last 50 on a new pair of shoes. She had her hair and nails done, spent 45 minutes putting on her makeup. When she got there, she spent the entire evening sitting in the corner, half smiling, half crying. On the outside, she looked beautiful. On the inside, she felt worthless. So many of us invest a fortune making ourselves look good to the world. Yet, on the inside, we are falling apart. We manage to muddle through life, saying and doing the right things. But when we're alone, we cry silent and desperate tears. It is a time to pause and heal the inside. It is a time to heal the hurts, needs, and fences. Dig up the branches and throw them away. It is time to heal the doubts, answer the questions, and release the fears. It is time to invest some time to what is going on inside. When we can do that, the outside will shine. And today's affirmation is, I am investing my time in something that matters. Amen, somebody. Amen. Amen. You have to have the inside healed. Many of us do look well on the outside, but are broken on the inside. We just broken. But I'm going to tell you all a little story before I get off of here. You know, I told you all about what was going on with Christopher and his friend, right? So they have officially are officially no longer friends. Chris doesn't understand why. He said, you know, I went to him 4 times, asked him, and tried to figure out what was going on with him. He said, it is what it is. So remember I told you that they were in this group chat, right? So Christopher got 2 anonymous phone calls last week, and he thought that it was the young lady that he met on the cruise, because Christopher told the group chat about her. So when she called, She was acting real weird. Real weird. I told Christopher when he was telling me about the phone calls, I said, that is not her calling you. So he reached out to her to ask her, was it her? And she said no. And she said, no, I haven't called you, you know, whatever. I said, Christopher, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I have lived this life a lot longer than you. And I've been prank called many, many times by stupid ass people playing on the fucking phone. I said, that is either Leonard, I'm gonna say his name, I don't give a fuck. That's either Leonard, Tracy, or KK. I told him this. He found out last night it was Tracy and the girl playing on the phone, prank calling him. Now, what I'm pissed about is the fact that this little heifer, Tracy, she had a birthday party. Out of all the kids that came to her party, that's not in their group, nobody brought her a gift. I bought her a gift card. Okay, a Victoria's Secret gift card. I teach Chris, you know, don't go to nobody's party empty-handed. You know. So he took our card, had to give him money to eat, money for the Uber. You say Chris is your friend and y'all cool, but now y'all gonna play with him and try to scare him? When I tell you I am, and I know it's kid stuff, but these are supposed to be your friends. Supposed to be your friends. And I told him, I said, that ain't nobody but them. That ain't nobody but them. I said, because you told them about the young lady from the cruise. So I said, I kept saying, I kept telling him, I said, I really don't think it's her. But then he kept saying that he did think it was her. But anyway, he found out last night, the other boy that's in their group chat, he called Chris. I was asleep. Chris come waking me up to tell me that Tracy and KK prank called him. That the boy told him they have been, he said, Tracy and KK been calling you and prank calling you on your phone. Now, KK is mad at Chris because he wasn't feeling her. So she's been in her feelings ever since he kind of dropped her. But Tracy, he knew Tracy through Leonard, because Leonard and Tracy went to grammar school. And him and Chris met in high school. So he's known Tracy's through grammar school. They've been friends. And now here they're friends in high school. You know, they friendship continued. And he brought Chris into the fold of this group chat. Now Leonard is not talking to Chris no more. He can't figure that out. Tracy now is playing on the phone with him. He can't figure that out. When he woke me up, I wasn't mad about him waking me up as I was mad about the whole situation. So I told Chris this. I said, fuck all of them. Fuck Leonard, fuck Tracy, and fuck KK. I said, you don't need these motherfuckers as no friends. I said, because it's obvious that they ain't no friends. Because you don't play on the phone with nobody. And first of all, Christopher's phone is my phone. Christopher's number is my number. I pay his fucking phone bill. I was so motherfucking heated when he told me that. I said, I told you. Because I told him that it was Leonard. I said, Leonard had put some girls up to prank call you. And I still think he behind it. So Leonard told Devontae, the one who called Chris, to tell Chris that they were playing with him. He said, yeah, Leonard told me that he don't rock with you no more. And Chris said, yeah, he said, I don't know what his problem is. He said, but that's cool, you know. And my ex-boyfriend, Chris and them had went downtown, and my ex-boyfriend who worked in the area had made sure that, you know, they got, you know, in the Uber and got back and all this and all that. He said, he told me, he said, I don't like him. Talking about Leonard. I said, why you don't like him? He said, he's sneaky to me. He said, I don't like the little motherfucker. I said, he a good kid. He said, I don't like him. Now, I don't know what vibe he was picking up on with him, but I know every time I've taken this boy home, taken him home from school so many times. Talked to his grandmother on the phone. So I told my friend, I said, well, I said, maybe, I don't know. I said, I don't see it. He said, I'm telling you. He said, I don't like him. He said, I do not like him. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what vibe he was picking up on. But, you know, everybody has, you know, different vibes or whatever. I got me some new makeup yesterday. Hopefully it's going to come out. There we go. So, I don't know. But I'm pissed off because, you know, don't play with nobody. Don't play with nobody. Don't be playing on nobody's phone. So the boy called Chris up and told him. Now this other boy, Devontae, he also is Leonard's friend. But Leonard is still cool with him. But all of a sudden he ain't cool with Chris no more. It's all of a sudden you ain't friends with him. Why? And I think a lot of it has to do with Tracy and this KK girl. And I think Leonard dropped him because of them. I think he dropped Chris because of these girls that are his friends. Reason why he at that school is because of Chris. So I just told Chris, I said, you know what? Fuck all of them. I said, you don't need friends like that. You don't need friends like that. And Kalia, yeah, I'm talking about my son again, who I carried for 9 months and birthed into the world. Before you start sending some fucked up email to my email talking about you talk about your son too much. You sound like a motherfucking fool. So I told Chris, I said, listen here. I said, you're going to find out who is your friends and who are not. I said, and I hate to tell you this, but you're going to find out again. I said, you're going to find out. I said, believe me when I tell you. You're going to find out. And I still say he behind it. And it just pisses me off, you know, because they were so close. But I said all that to say, I was going to tell you about this girl. And I told him this story. There was a young lady. She works here. She works here across the street. from me. She works in rodent control. She and I became friends because she worked in rodent control across the street, and I worked in carts across the street. So we became friends because we would park next to each other in the morning. And she would speak every morning, and I would speak to her. And so we became friends, and very good friends. We talked every day, every morning. So when the program, the assignment was over here, I had to go back to my other department, back to garbage. So I went back to garbage, and she remained here. So we would talk to each other every morning. She was there for me when my father died, all of that. So, she was messing around. She was married, and she was messing around, cheating on her husband with a guy that worked for our company. And she was crazy about this man that worked here. Her cousin also works here. I was also good friends with her cousin. She was such a good friend that my mother called her daughter. 2 birthday parties. She came to 2 birthday parties my mother had. She was at my mother's house. She came to Christopher's birthday party. Now here's the funny thing. Her niece, who was the same age as Christopher, she goes to Christopher's school. So Christopher came home and said, you know the girl, the lady you used to talk to, who you don't talk to anymore? He said, her niece go to my school. She transferred over there. So I've seen her sister talk to her sister and everything, picking up Christopher's report card. I'll never even ask about her. All of a sudden, she stopped talking to me. We would talk every day. We would even talk on Saturday and Sunday. I called her up on a Friday. Let me tell you how much we talked. So we would talk in the morning, on the way to work. It's before I was doing YouTube and doing these videos. And we would talk on the way home. And we would talk on the weekend. So one Friday, I called her. And she didn't answer the phone. So I was like, So I called her again in the afternoon. She didn't answer the phone. So now I'm starting to think something is wrong, because that's not like her, right? So Saturday comes and I call her. She doesn't answer me. Now, prior to this, she had told me that she thought that the guy she was cheating with was cheating on her with somebody who worked here also. It was a mess. Just a complete, utter mess. The girl who he ended up cheating on her with is somebody that is a friend of mine that work here. Me and this girl are not friends, but we started here at the same time in the training. So yes, I know her. She's not somebody, she wasn't somebody I talk to on the phone every day. She wasn't somebody that I talk to on a regular basis. When I see her, we talk. But we not friends. We have each other's phone number. We don't hang out. We don't do nothing. So, she tells me, yeah, I think he messing around with her. So because I knew the girl, I'm assuming she stopped talking to me because I think she thought that I was saying something to the girl about her and the guy. But I wasn't. I never did. She just stopped talking to me. So I was like, I sent her a text. I said, I don't know what's wrong. Why you not talking to me? I said, but I'm done. Meaning, I'm done calling you and I'm done texting you and I'm done trying to figure out what's wrong with you. I went to Facebook, delete, block. Went to my phone, block. You don't get to live rent free in my head for especially when I know that I ain't never did nothing to you. And see, the bad thing with Chris now is that he got to see this motherfucker every day. I said, see, you had him come over to the school. Now you got to see him every day. And when he and Chris was sitting there at lunch or sitting by each other, because they have lunch and gym together. So when they were sitting there and he said he just got up and left and then dab him up, he said he was like, he had wrote Lenard, Texas. He had went to Lenard and talked to him. He had did everything. He said when he see him, he said Lenard has this real fucked up look on his face. Like, he know he ain't fucked up. Chris said he can't never come back. He said he can't never come back. And I told Chris, I said, the difference is that you all are 18 years of age. You all are so young and so immature. And mature. They're mature and immature. And I said, I know you think I'm weird for saying this. I said, but it's kind of like, I could see you talking to him and giving him another chance. I said, even though that's your choice. I said, but, in other words, what I'm saying is I can kind of like excuse some of his behavior because he's young. But in a way, it's hard to excuse his behavior because you do know better. And you know what you're doing is wrong. And I really believe he's behind the prank call as well. I just do. Because it's mighty funny. He wasn't getting no prank calls until him and Lenard stopped talking to each other. Now all of a sudden you getting prank calls. Just stupid shit. So anyway, I was telling Chris a story about her and how she did me. And I said, and it's unfortunate. I said, but sometimes that's just how it happened. People will just stop talking to you and you just cannot figure out why. You just can't figure out why. I said, but what you gonna have to do, you're gonna have to let it go. I said, I know it's fresh and I know you all were really, really tight and he was like a brother to you and you cared about him. And he was your best friend. And I said, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute for you to Get over him. Get over the situation and get over the friendship being you all no longer being friends. I said, but he doesn't get to live rent free in your head. So at some point, you are going to have to let that go. I said, because he ain't worth all of this. Because Chris has really been, a little stressed out, I said, he ain't worth all of this. I said, I know you upset, and I know you pissed off, and I know you hurt. I said, which, it's understandable. I said, but fuck him. And that's just how I said it. That's just how I said it. Because it don't make sense. So I told him, I said, you know what? I said, leave him where he at. Leave him where he at. I said, you been a friend. You went to him. You went talked to him. You went asked him different stuff. You went tried with him. I said, now it's time to leave him where he at. You stop talking to me and I ain't did shit to you. Fuck you. Same way with my friend. Same thing. Fuck you. That's on you. I know what I did and I know what I was. So if you mad at me for whatever reason, fuck you. I've never ran into her, even since I've been over here. Never ran into her. I know she still work over there. Her birthday, and that was another thing she and I had in common. My birthday was the 11th, is the 11th. Her birthday is Valentine's Day, Saturday, the 14th. And as an Aquarius, I know we can cut people off like it ain't nothing. I know that's how we roll. But fuck her and him and anybody else. Because when I know I ain't did nothing to you, that's on you. That's your loss. Ain't got shit to do with me. And that's what I told him. I said, that's his loss. That's on him. Let him go in peace. So he said, but he's pissed off about the prank phone call. I said, it's okay. I said, God sent him and Devontae to tell you. I said, and I knew it was them. He was like, playing with me on the phone. I said, yeah. I said, they silly. And I would love to see Leonard. Like I said, I have not once, at least 3 times, I've invited this boy to Christopher's outings for his birthday. Whatever Leonard wanted, whatever, I bought it. And of course, he was very mannerable and respectful. Thank you, Miss Cotton. Thank you, and all that. I want to know why. Why you just stopped talking to him? What did Chris do to you? But I ain't gonna get in it because, it ain't my business. But, I took you home, in the cold when it was freezing. So you wouldn't be standing out there on the bus stop. Honey, people are something else. People are something else. But I told him, I said, that's okay. I said, it's his loss. Know that. It's his loss. His loss. Because it sure ain't yours. It's a goddamn shame. But my mother was telling him how, that has happened to her with friends. She was closer friends, and they've done her like that. And I guess it happens with a lot of people. But I don't roll like that. If I stop talking to you, you gonna know why. You ain't gonna have to guess. But I've had that done to me by this girl. I've had it done to me by a guy friend. So I've had it done to me several times. Chris said, I see why you stay to yourself. Exactly. Exactly. So I don't have time for bullshit with people. I don't have time for you making me feel no type of way. I don't have time for you hurting my feelings. Either we gonna be homies and we gonna be cool and be friends, or we not. Because friends don't do that. They just don't. Anyway, you guys, that's my truth. I'm going to let you all go. Have an amazing day. I will not be on as early tomorrow because I am off tomorrow and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday. But I will see you all tomorrow, and I'm going to come on live tomorrow. I was going to do it tonight, but I might do it tonight and tomorrow. I'll see. But anywho, you all have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Okay? Be blessed, and just be blessed and be peaceful. That's what I was going to say. Be peaceful. Peace.